I continued to fall deeper and deeper in love with this idea of making a bigger impact, earning more money, charging more money, working with less clients, having less of a client load, having more fun, getting better results for the people, and having it feel less and less like work. I fell in love with the idea of, a real master is someone who you can't tell the difference. You can't see a distinction between his work and his play. If he's working or he's playing, you don't know the difference. Is he playing? Is he working? I don't know. And I saw that in order to do that, it's not about spending more hours working and stressing yourself out more, right? It's about moving things into more alignment. The word I use for that is harmony. It's not about balance. Balance is cool, but it's like give and take. You have to give more to get some more. And what I learned, and I've always loved the piano. I've always been, I've always played the piano as kind of a hobby, a more like a therapy. Um, but I fell in love with this idea of as opposed to harmony as opposed to balance. A friend of mine, one of the coaches that I had hired, talked about balance, body being balanced in business. And you got to have that balance between in your life. It's about having that balance. And I thought that's kind of cool, but I feel like that's kind of outdated. It doesn't really align with what I want to create. What I want to create is a life of harmony where instead of a give and take, it's a synergistic relationship and it creates an actual harmony and a flow. That's how I play that's how I make the music sound good when I play the piano. I get into that flow. So how could we create harmony between my work life, like my clients, and my relationship with money and my the amount of time that I'm able to spend with my family? How can we create harmony between them? Well, you've got to be based on a principle that aligns with that, which allows me to charge more money, have less clients, make a deeper impact, make a bigger difference, earn more total dollars for myself, get better results for them so that they win. My relationship with money had to transform and really move into even deeper alignment, even finer attunement as I attuned my state of being and who I'm being and get that in tune so that it resonates with that flow. And that's how I could create better clients for people, live a more congruent life, be more authentic, get paid more to have more fun, and be more me. Just me being me and getting paid more. How could that be? I mean, that idea is just so inspiring to me. And I just became so committed to it. So committed to it, in fact, that I decided to even push myself further, hire bigger coaches, hire more famous coaches, more world renowned coaches, more higher priced coaches. I found coaches that they're not doing any marketing. They're not writing books to try to get clients. They're not trying to get you as a client. They don't want you to know their name. They don't want you to think that they're great. They don't even want you to know who they are. They want to live a quiet, secret life out somewhere and not be bothered. Those guys who charge a lot of money, that's who I wanted to work with. And so I heard about these guys and I found them and I found a way to get into their calendar and I hired them. And that actually required me to sell my house, sell my truck, and invest that money into a year-long apprenticeship with this guy. Um, and he doesn't he doesn't even need me or want me to say his name. That's what I love about it. I love the idea of the puppet master behind the scenes, the guy who's you don't need to know his name, and he's pulling the strings, and he's making the moves, and you never even know who he is. I just love that idea, because a lot of coaches, they want to be out in front, they want to be the face of the brand, we want to look good, we want to feel important, and I love even more the idea of the guy who doesn't need any of that, but he's the puppet master pulling the strings behind the scenes. That idea inspired me. So what did I do? I paid him. And what did I do then? I raised my price again. I added another zero to my price point and figured, how could I create $100,000 client? Could you imagine the results then? Could you imagine how much better it'd be when they're more committed? I could have even less clients and make more money. I could, of course, when I did that, it added more stress to myself. So I had to go deeper within myself and find where I was out of alignment. That dissonance of where I wasn't totally congruent became more apparent to me. It was more in my face. So I had to go and resolve that inner conflict within myself and move and get my attunement finer and finer and finer to be able to attract that kind of client, enroll them in such a high priced, at the time felt super high priced coaching package, and get them results, which I did. It took me a week. It's from the day that I decided I was going to do that to the day I did it. It took me 1 week, and here I have $100,000 client. That was the same month that I found myself on a Disney cruise. In fact, I closed the deal on the Disney cruise. And so you could actually say that I made more money. I had my biggest month at the time, my biggest month. So because I did a $15,000 deposit, and then he had to pay the other 85 as long as I could finish the deal and close it up. And I took the $15,000 deposit and I booked the cruise, and we went on the cruise. And yeah, 3 weeks later, we're on a Disney cruise, and it was becoming like, I don't know if he's going to fully do it. I hope he's going to go all the way in. I don't know. I was on the cruise, and I believe I closed the deal because I was on the cruise. Why? Because I was in that flow state. I was feeling joy. There was no stress. My kids were having a blast. I was out on the top of the boat with my wife. I was reading and studying and just loving life. And in that state of joy and appreciation, I was able to have the insights and the clarity to get him to close that deal. And he wired the money into my account while I'm on the boat out in the middle of the Caribbean. And I just said, I had my biggest month. I had my biggest month in my whole coaching business up until now because I was on a cruise. How's that for proving that principle, that original real magic principle that I wrote about in the book, that I learned as a magician in the Excalibur in Las Vegas? How's that? Look at what I'm doing. And I was so proud of myself. And because I was in that state, my coaching was better. I was less stressed because I was less, my load of clients was less. So in that sense, the time that I had to spend coaching and working was less. Their results were better because they were so much more committed. And I, again, solidified that idea of harmony, creating harmony across the board. I'm spending more time with my family. My relationship with money had to move into alignment. So look, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's the keyboard. That's the notes. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, creating harmony between the key areas of life, harmony between the keys, harmony across the board between our personal life and our professional relationships. And so I'm gonna distinguish the A, B, C, D, E, F, G right now. A, these are not in any particular order. They're all of equal order. Equal. A, affair. This is your actual love affair. This is your romantic relationship or relationships. B, body, your relationship with the body, the heart, mind, the body, mind connection. C, consciousness. This is the relationship with God or whatever you call that. D, destiny. This is your purpose on the planet, what you're here to do, whether you're here to lead a movement, build companies, empower people, philanthropy, whatever it is, getting clear about that and moving that into alignment. So that's D, destiny. E, economics. This is our relationship with money. F, family. This is your biological family, or this is your biological family or declared family. Like, for example, I have a client who became a really close friend who became what I call my sister, my only sister. That's a declared family. I call her my sister. I treat her like my sister. She's become family. So she went from client to family, and that would count as family. But also, of course, our kids, our spouses, even our ex-spouses. If you have 2 or 3 or 4 ex-spouses, those count. Because once you have a spouse and you have kids with them, you're committed, you're all in with them for life. I don't care what your marital status becomes. I don't care if your romantic interest in them changes. They become family, and you need to be all in. We need to be all in with them forever, regardless of what happens with the romantic experience. So that's F, family. G, gifts and talents. So gifts. This is, for me, is my gift with magic, my gift with sales, my gift with piano, particularly music. Creating harmony across these areas, these key areas of the board, is what a true key player is. And a key player isn't just a keyboard player. A key player is a leader. A key player is the person inside the interaction, inside the relationship, that makes the difference. It's the person who's willing to take the stand that I am cause in the matter. That's what a key leader is, or a key player is. A key player in the game, Michael Jordan, is the key player in the game because he's cause in the matter. This is about leadership. It's not just about playing the keys, it's about leadership. It's about who we need to be so that we can create harmony between all these areas so that why? We can earn more money and make more impact while having more fun, while spending more time out on the lake, while being out on the Disney cruise with our clients, with our friends, with our customers and our partners on a Disney cruise. This is part of the vision of Key Player. What it means when someone takes a stand of themselves as becoming a key player and they identify themselves as that our lives, we do the hard, not the hard, but yeah, we do the challenging, difficult inner work that's required to move our state of being, who we are, who we're being, our thoughts, feelings, moods, emotions, attachments, our body mind connection, our money, everything, to move all of that into alignment so that it's attuned, attunement, attuning our state of being with more and more refinement and more fine tuning so that we resonate, our state of being literally resonates at the frequency that aligns ourselves with our vision and our dream. And meanwhile, we're moving all those key areas into alignment so that we can create more harmony and we can access that flow state with more ease, with more simplicity than ever before. And why? So we can live as an example. Being an example of this message, an example of what we teach is the power. Our marketing becomes powerful not because we're loud and boastful and because we're spending more money on ads and working more and spending more hours working. Our marketing becomes more powerful because why? We're living what we teach with more congruence, with more alignment. We're living it with more rigor. We have more integrity. So our relationship with God, when I say letter C, consciousness, our relationship with God that's our word. That's our relationship with our word. Integrity. And look, creating harmony across the board is a mountain without a top. That's what it is. This is a way of life. This is not something that a little coaching program that someone gets involved with for a day or a week or a month or even a year. This is a rest of your life journey and type of commitment. And I really mean that. This is a way of living, that a stand that someone takes on themselves that says, I'm committed to this way of life and doing this work for the rest of my life. I'm getting on the path to mastery and I'm never getting off of it. Why? Because it's a mountain without a top. Let me show you what a mountain without a top might look like. You see the peak of that mountain right here? The peak of that mountain, if you climbed up to the peak of it, what you would see is another mountain, another peak that's higher than that. Just because that's the highest one that we can see right now does not mean that that's the top of that mountain. There's one that's way higher than that you can't see from here. Once you get up to that peak, now a new peak becomes visible. So what? You go through the valley again and get up to the next peak. And when you get up to the next peak, guess what's going to happen? And you know how I know is because I did it. I went up to that next one, and what happened? This new peak became visible that I didn't even see before. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this mountain doesn't even have a top. Does it even have a top? That's how I felt. And I got to that new peak. I saw the new one available. And what did I have to do? Go back through the valley, go back down into what the seemingly low valley up to the next highest peak. And this path of the key player is a mountain without a top. Creating harmony across the board is that way. And therefore, it's a life sentence. It's a decision that someone takes, that someone makes, and a stand that we take, and a path that we get on for the rest of our life. I'm on it. I've been on it now for the key player for 3 years, and I've gone through the highest ups and downs than ever before. And I've gone through my identity and who I was like an onion has become unraveled, and these layers of myself had to shed off of me, and relationships that previously, were working so well, all of a sudden have these breakdowns in them. My relationship with every single key area across the board, my love affair with Brittany, that had this huge breakdown. It's actually at the time I'm recording this in 2020, while we're in quarantine, I'm currently divorced. I'm embarrassed about that. I'm ashamed about that. How could somebody be divorced and talk about creating harmony in their relationships? How is that possible? right? So that's a big breakdown. Our relationships, in order to get to the next peak and the next level of harmony, will have breakdowns. That's A. B, body. I have breakdowns in my relationship with my body all the time. We have to break it down in order to grow it back stronger, right? C, consciousness. I've challenged and questioned my relationship with God and my religion and my relationship with my religion tons and tons and tons of times in order to move it into more and more harmony with the other key areas. My relationship with God is also our relationship with ourself and our words. So that's what that's what that includes. D, destiny, challenging and questioning, what is my purpose and why am I here? What am I supposed to do, God? Like what is it? How do I move that into alignment with my relationship with my wife when she says get a job, or when she says, don't do that thing. That thing sucks. Don't do that career. It sucks. It's not going to work. How do I move that, my purpose, into alignment with her and into alignment and harmony with my relationship with the next thing, which is F, my family, my kids. If I'm spending so much time with my purpose, I'm not spending time with my kids. How do I move that into alignment? Breakdowns is how you move it into alignment, because a breakdown precedes a breakthrough always. If you're at a peak and you want to get to another peak, there's going to be a breakdown as you go through the valley in order to have the breakthrough to get to the next peak. But don't worry, because once you get to that next peak, you're going to see another one available, and you're going to have to then have another breakdown to precede the next breakthrough. If we are trying to avoid breakdowns, then we're going to pause and halt all of our growth. And it's because we're afraid to experience the pain of the breakdown and the potential loss. So I knew that in order for me to really create the dream relationship with Brittany, it would require us going through a divorce and a temporary breakdown in our relationship. And now we've been divorced for a whole year, and me and her both have experienced more growth and more love than ever before. We've had more, we've had more romance, better romance than we've ever had in all the years we were married while we were divorced. Go figure that one out. I'm not sure if she wants me talking about that, so I'm going to just end it with that. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to new subject. But really, it's this life mission, this life path, this life commitment, this path to be on for the rest of our lives. This is what. So let me just quickly tell you a little more about the vision of Key Player. We're going to have a movement of people, a mastermind of people that grows and grows and grows. There's not some coach guru who's at the top, who has it all figured out, who doesn't have any problems, doesn't have any breakdowns. I can be open about my problems and my breakdowns. I can be honest about where I'm stuck, where I'm struggling, because it doesn't mean that I'm not a capable coach if I have problems and breakdowns. In fact, it makes me more human. See, this is a huge breakthrough for me, because before I thought, if I'm the coach who's charging $100,000, what happens if my client finds out that I actually don't have it all figured out? What if they find out what I struggle with? They're going to wish that they didn't give me $100,000. And so I would hold back, and I would be less authentic, and I would position myself and posture myself as if I have it all figured out. I'm the coach. I have to have it all figured out. What's going to happen if they find out what I struggle with? They're going to regret giving me $100,000, right? That is not in alignment with this vision. Okay. In this vision, I'm an equal part of the mastermind, equal to every other person. Every single person in the mastermind is a master and a genius in certain areas. And we're bringing all those resources together into this mastermind. And it's not just a mastermind. What we're creating makes a mastermind look like primary class. This is a juggernaut. A juggernaut is a group of elite people with the highest level. These people will die for each other. These people will take a bullet for each other. This is a life, this is a family, and this is a mastermind that comes together like families type of support that you can count on and be for the rest of your life. And we're committed to each other, almost like if you were to join a gang or a cult, and someone literally is like, hey, I'm in this for life. The only way I can get out of this thing is to, I don't know, die or something like that. I don't think it's going to be literally that intense, but this is what we're creating. This is what the Key Player Juggernaut is. And we're going to have events, concerts, actual music concerts with these key players and these powerful musicians and entrepreneurs and philanthropists and family men and women. who want to live their life of fantasy, want to live a life of literally a dream life and create a dream life and be rock stars up on stage, bona fide rock stars, creating music, creating ideas, creating content and marketing messages that are in such alignment that it takes less energy and effort because we're having so much fun and we're in the flow. Actual music concerts that it's not a workshop, it's not a transformational workshop only, it's not a seminar, it's a music concert that's transformational. And the audience members from the audience will have chances to get up on stage and perform music off the top of our head, ad lib. You can come with something prepared, or you can just come and get into the flow and see what happens when you start creating this harmony across the board and across your keys and across the different notes with these other key players, like-minded entrepreneurs who come to the concert for the purpose of attuning ourselves, using each other to attune ourselves, to get ourselves into that flow state, to create music. The music itself is is enlightening. The music itself becomes our marketing message, and this music proliferates through the world and is the funnel, and it brings more and more people into the movement. And then some of the most elite clients, they'll get offers to go on Disney cruises, on cruises with our partners and family members, to come on a cruise so that we can solve our most expensive challenges in the key areas of life while we're on the cruise. In other words, earn more money to be on a vacation with your family and your business partner and clients while we're all there together, going on all inclusive resorts and living total a life of total luxury and making more money because we're on vacation, making more money because we're living in luxury. Not I have to go work so that I can go on a really luxurious vacation. No, I go on my vacation so that I don't have to work for money. I go on my vacation so that I can make more money on the vacation. Why? Because I'm committed to the key player work, the key player's way. On that vacation, I'm also facing down the most challenging and the most painful blocks that are in my way so I can move myself into more attunement, more alignment, and attune my state of being so that I can solve that next level of expensive problems. So I can add a zero to my price points and make more impact with less clients, or more impact with more clients. You can create more clients by charging more money, not more clients by charging less money. And so this is the vision of Key Player. This is what I'm committed to for the rest of my life. This is what I care more about this mission and this vision because I know that it's what I'm supposed to do from God. I care more about this than I care about any human being, including my own human flesh. I would literally die for it. I'll be willing to get divorced if that's what it means. I'll literally die for the mission and the vision of Key Player because I am a key player and I'm committed to living this way forever. And if someone said, well, you're going to have to die if you can't live this way, then you're going to have to just, you're going to lose your life. I would say, all right, fine, let's take my life right now. And I really mean that with all my heart. I will literally be this committed to myself and to anybody else who joins our movement and who joins our tribe and our culture, who joins the mastermind, because it means so much to me. And so this is the vision. Thank you so much for listening. I want you to be a part of it if you feel like you're a fit for it, if this calls to you and it feels aligned with what you're up to in life. Then I would love for you to get involved, take action, click whatever the button is on this page, go to the next step in our funnel so that you can um, take the next step at getting involved. I don't know what the offer will be at the time that you see this. It might be $100 offer or $1,000 offer or a $10,000 offer or a $100,000 offer. I haven't crafted the $1,000,000 offer yet, but I will. There will be $1,000,000 offer because it's just adding zeros. It's just money. It's just made up. It's energy. And so whatever the offer is on this page or wherever you're seeing this, reach out and get involved with it if this calls to you. If it doesn't call to you, then by all means, go find a movement that does call to you. Go find a way of living that you would be committed to living for the rest of your life. Go find a type of work that you want to commit your whole life to and get involved with that, whatever it is. Thank you for listening. Again, my name is Parker Winder, the original key player himself, inviting you to come join. And I will see you soon. All right, bye.